The nonstick pan in your kitchen right now is coated in a chemical so impossible to destroy that scientists call it a forever chemical. It belongs to the same chemical family behind one of the largest toxic contamination lawsuits in American history. And as of last year, states have started banning it outright. That sticker on the box that says PFOA-free, Consumer Reports tested those exact claims and found you cannot trust them. Here is what the cookware industry does not print on the label. Teflon is just a brand name. The coating underneath it is called PTFE, and PTFE is a PFAS, a per- and polyfluoroalkyl substance. The same forever chemicals are being pulled out of drinking water, out of firefighting foam, and now out of your kitchen, state by state. We are exposing 9 non-stick traps you need to throw out, and 5 pans that are actually safe to use at home. This is based on the EPA's own phase-out program, the California Cookware Disclosure Law, the Minnesota state ban, and independent lab testing. Let us start with the lie printed on almost every non-stick box. Number 9. The PFOA-free sticker. This is the reassurance that lets you sleep at night, and it is nearly meaningless. PFOA was the chemical used to manufacture old Teflon, and it was so harmful that the EPA forced an industry-wide phase-out, completed by 2013 and 2014. So when a pan today says PFOA-free, it is bragging about not containing a chemical that was already banned years ago. It tells you nothing about what is actually coating the pan. Here is the part they are counting on you not knowing. PFOA-free does not mean PFAS-free. A pan can be perfectly PFOA-free and still be coated in PTFE, which is itself a PFAS. And it gets worse. When Consumer Reports tested nonstick pans to see whether shoppers could even trust the PFOA-free labels, they found that in PTFE-coated pans, they could not. The sticker is a magic trick. It points at the chemical that is gone, so you will not ask about the one that is still there. Number 8. The Teflon-free rebrand. So you got smart. You avoided anything that says Teflon. Good instinct, but the brand saw you coming. Teflon-free can simply mean the pan does not use the trademarked Teflon name, while still using the exact same kind of PTFE or fluoropolymer coating, just made by a different supplier. You dodged a brand name and walked straight back into the same chemistry. This is the oldest move in the greenwashing playbook. Ban the word, keep the substance. The only labels that mean anything are PTFE-free and PFAS-free together, because either one alone leaves a loophole. If a pan only tells you what it is not, and it uses the most famous bad word to do it, assume the coating is exactly what you were trying to avoid. Number 7. The ceramic non-stick illusion. Ceramic sounds natural, ancient, safe, like cooking on a clay pot. The reality is murkier. Most ceramic non-stick pans aren't solid ceramic at all. They're metal pans sprayed with a thin coating. And as the chemists who study these surfaces point out, ceramic here is largely a marketing word. Worse, independent testing by the Ecology Center, in a report literally titled Still Cooking, found that some pans marketed as PFAS-free still contained PFAS, meaning some shoppers were buying the very thing the label promised they were avoiding. And even when the ceramic coating is genuinely clean, there's a catch nobody mentions at the register. Ceramic non-stick wears out fast, often losing its slip in just 2 to 5 years. So you're paying a premium for a coating that's designed to fail, and when it fails, you buy another one. Which brings us to what happens to any non-stick pan as it ages. Number 6. Scratched, flaking, and worn-out non-stick. This is the one even the most cautious scientists and the manufacturers agree on. So pay attention. A non-stick coating is fine, right up until it is not. The moment that surface gets scratched by a metal spatula, scraped by a fork, or starts to flake and peel with age, the picture changes. Researchers warn that damage to the coating increases the risk of those chemicals shedding into your food while you cook. That means the metal utensils you have been using, the abrasive scrubbing, the years of wear, all of it is quietly turning a safe when intact pan into a flaking one. And here is the brutal math. Every non-stick pan you own is on a countdown to this exact state. You are not buying cookware, you are renting a surface that is guaranteed to degrade. And speaking of degrading, there is a way to ruin a non-stick pan in minutes. Number 5. The empty pan high heat habit. Watch how most people cook. They put an empty non-stick pan on a burner, crank it to high, and wait for it to get screaming hot before the food goes in. That is the single most dangerous thing you can do with non-stick. PTFE coatings stay relatively stable at normal stovetop temperatures, around 450 degrees and below. But preheat that pan empty on high heat, push it past roughly 500 degrees, and the coating begins to break down and release fumes. Those fumes cause a real, documented condition in humans called polymer fume fever, nicknamed Teflon flu, with flu-like symptoms that send people to bed. And if you keep pet birds, those same fumes can kill them. Canaries in the coal mine, quite literally. So the way nonstick is most often used, hot and empty for searing, is exactly the way it's most likely to harm you. But the deepest problem isn't how you use it. It's what they refuse to tell you about it. Quick favor before the big ones. If a video that actually names the traps, instead of selling you a pan, is worth something to you, hit that like button and subscribe. Number 4, the disclosure blackout. Pick up a nonstick pan and try to find out exactly what the coating is made of. Good luck. For years, manufacturers have not been required to tell you the specific chemicals on the surface you are searing your dinner on. That is not an accident. When California passed its Safer Food Packaging and Cookware Act, which forces cookware makers to disclose the chemicals in their products, industry groups lobbied hard. In other states, they pushed aggressively to get cookware carved out of PFAS rules entirely. Think about what that fight tells you. If the coating were genuinely nothing to worry about, why spend money lobbying against simply listing it on a label? Transparency is cheap when you have nothing to hide. The blackout itself is the confession, and it protects the next trap. Number 3, the lasts forever durability pitch. Non-stick is sold on a fantasy of permanence. Eggs sliding off effortlessly, forever, no oil, no scrubbing. But here's the truth about every non-stick coating on Earth. It is a consumable. It is engineered to wear down, lose its slip, and get thrown away. There is no non-stick coating that lasts the life of the pan, which is exactly why the coated layer is the part that fails first, while the aluminum body underneath is still perfectly fine. So the durability pitch is inverted. The pan outlives the only part that mattered, and you are trained to toss the whole thing and buy a new one every couple of years. That is not a kitchen tool. That is a subscription, disguised as a purchase. And every cycle puts another degrading coating in your house. Now for the one that ties all of this together. Number 2, the greenwashed, healthy non-stick. As shoppers wised up, a whole new category appeared, promising the best of both worlds. The slip of non-stick, with none of the worry, beautiful pastel pans, wellness branding, words like toxin-free and clean. The problem is that clean and toxin-free have no regulated meaning on cookware, the same way natural means nothing on a food label. And the Ecology Center's lab testing is the receipt. Some products making PFFAS, Freestyle claims still tested positive for PFAS. The marketing got ahead of the chemistry, and you paid the premium. This is the most insidious trap of all, because it targets the people trying hardest to do the right thing. You went looking for safe, and the industry sold the word safe right back to you, without changing what's in the pan. The only way out is to stop trusting adjectives and start trusting materials, which leads to the biggest reveal of all. Number 1, it's a forever chemical, and it's being banned. Here is the fact that reframes everything. The non-stick coating, PTFE, is not just a chemical with some concerns. It is a PFAS, a member of the same forever chemical family that triggered one of the largest toxic lawsuits in American history. The contamination linked to the West Virginia plant that produced PFOA, the story behind hundreds of millions of dollars in settlements. PFAS, as a class, have been associated in research with serious health effects, from certain cancers to thyroid disease to reduced fertility. Nearly every American now carries PFAS in their blood, and regulators are no longer waiting. As of January 1st, 2025, Minnesota became the first state in the country to ban the sale of cookware coated with PFAS. Vermont, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Colorado have bans or restrictions moving through, with enforcement dates running into 2026, 2027, and 2028. The European Union is weighing the same. Retailers like REI have already gone PFAS-free. Now, in fairness, this is a debate, not a closed case. The cookware industry argues that PTFE is inert at normal cooking temperatures. And some scientists note that fluoropolymers like PTFE are very large molecules, unlike the small, mobile PFAS that slip into your bloodstream from water. That's a real argument. And it's why nobody can honestly tell you a single dinner cooked on Teflon will hurt you. But the legacy of PFOA, the fumes when overheated, the shedding when scratched, the forever persistence in the environment, and the wave of state bans all point in one direction. When governments start outlawing a material, and the maker will not even disclose it, the smart money stops waiting for the final verdict. So let's talk about the pans that sidestep this entire fight, because they don't have a coating to argue about. The 5 pans that are actually safe to use at home. Number 5. Genuine PFAS-free ceramic, treated as a consumable. If you can't give up that effortless non-stick feel, real PFAS-free ceramic is the closest safe substitute, and it's genuinely good for delicate jobs, like eggs and fish. 2 rules though. First, verify the label says both PTFE-free and PFAS-free, not just the magic trick PFOA-free. Second, go in knowing it will wear out in a few years. Treat it as a consumable, replace it when the slip is gone, and never use it for high heat searing. Used that way, with your eyes open, it earns a spot, but the next 4 will outlive it many times over. Number 4, stainless steel. This is the restaurant workhorse, and there's a reason every professional kitchen is full of it. Stainless steel has no coating to scratch, shed, flake, or release fumes. There is nothing to wear out, nothing to disclose, nothing to ban. A good, fully clad stainless pan will outlast you, and you can hand it to your kids. The only cost is a learning curve. It needs proper preheating and enough fat, or food sticks. Master that, and you'll never throw a pan away again. Number 3, carbon steel. Think of carbon steel as the pro chef's secret. It's the metal behind restaurant sauté pans and woks. Lighter than cast iron, it heats fast, handles serious high heat, and develops its own natural non-stick layer through seasoning, with 0 synthetic coatings. Once it's seasoned, eggs slide and steaks sear. It's the answer for anyone who wants high heat performance and a slick surface, without a single forever chemical in the equation. Number 2, enameled cast iron. This is cast iron with a glass-like enamel surface fused onto it. No seasoning required, no reactive metal touching your food, and crucially, no PFAS coating, because the non-stick-ish surface is literally glass, not plastic chemistry. It's the champion for braises, stews, sauces, and acidic foods like tomato that would damage a bare metal pan. Yes, the good ones cost more upfront, but a quality enameled pot is a decades-long, sometimes lifetime purchase. You buy it once. Number 1, bare cast iron. The pan that defies all logic. It costs a fraction of a premium non-stick. It's nearly indestructible. And instead of degrading over time like every coated pan, it gets better the more you use it. Seasoning builds a natural, genuinely non-stick layer, with nothing but oil and heat. No piss, no PTFE, no disclosure fine print. A cast iron skillet can be scraped, scorched, scrubbed, even restored from rust, and still cook for another 100 years. Some families literally pass them down through generations. It does everything the non-stick industry promised and never delivered. It actually lasts forever. And the only forever chemical involved is the iron itself. Season it, keep it dry, cook with it daily, and it becomes the most non-stick pan in your kitchen, for free. So let's wrap this up. Non-stick isn't going to drop you dead at dinner tonight, and the science is still being argued, but the coating is a forever chemical. The PFOA-free sticker is a distraction. The ceramic and toxin-free labels are often greenwashing. States are now banning the whole category. Meanwhile, the materials humans have cooked on for thousands of years, cast iron, carbon steel, stainless, and glass, have no coating to ban, no chemical to hide, and no expiration date. Now you know the 9 traps to walk away from, and the 5 pans worth keeping. Cook on something that has nothing to disclose.